Hey, just popping on for my first of my 5-day basically online oil class broken down into smaller chunks that I'm going to save on my IGTV as a series. And then if my members of my oil group on Facebook want, I will post it in the group as well, so and make it at units. So again, you could log on and say you want to look at posts having to do with oil classes, and then you'll be able to see them in one spot. And I'll also post them on my Live Well with Michelle YouTube page, channel I should say. So lots of places where you can check out about essential oils in terms of standard class that I would do if it wasn't for COVID and I could actually get together with you and do this personally. So the first thing that we do in an oil class clearly is I would have given you some samples. So we would have been talking, and up to this point, maybe it would have given you some samples of something that you're interested in trying or that I would like to get your opinion on, because I do that as well, because I value the people that I know, that they've got a lot of experience in different things, and I know that essential oils have helped me in certain areas, so I like to give out samples and see if those people get results as well, or if they have feedback. So at this point, for an oil class, I would have given you samples and then would have invited you to the oil class. If you want to come, great. And we would basically just introduce ourselves and talk about our experience with it. If we have an experience, why we're interested in it, why we're interested in maybe making it part of our lifestyle in terms of a regular ongoing shopping experience, just along with our grocery shopping, same thing. So I get different types of people in class. And so, of course, even if I have a one-on-one with someone, or we are in a class format in terms of, at your home or say my place or whatever, I do have a PowerPoint presentation that comes along with it just to give you something to look at, and I can send the pictures of different slides to you. We focus mostly on top 10 oils, basically oils that if you get these top 10, you pretty much have about 100 uses of like you can use these oils for with these 10 oils. So it's kind of showing you the value of getting a kit. It's always cheaper to get like a kit of something most times. So let me flip my camera around. All right, so typically my first thing when I'm in a class is I would introduce myself and explain to you 3 cool things about essential oils, 3 ways to use them, and then how to get the oils into your home. So that's kind of the point of the class. Short and sweet, not trying to take up a lot of people's time because people are busy. But getting oils into your home and using oils actually helps busy people. And if anyone knows me, you know I kind of am busy. Not to say others are not, but I kind of like to have about 42 jobs because, I'm bored. And in the beginning, when I didn't think that I actually would use these oils or make my own, like forget about DIY. I'm not trying to play around with that foolishness. I got things to do. I was actually pretty impressed at how quickly I adopted the idea of throwing together products that I would normally go and shop for. So in a class, we talk about 3 cool things about oil. So you can see by my slides, we talk about how they're safe, we talk about how they're effective, and I talk about how they're affordable. So let me flip back around. All right, so when it comes to safety, I do get into a little bit more detail. I'll do it on another live where I show you and talk about CPTG, so certified pure thorough grade. I'll talk about that a little bit more. I'll talk about how the oils, you can trace their journey from when they're being the oil itself is being harvested and then actually put in a bottle and then actually making it to your doorstep kind of thing. Just talk about kind of how you are more essentially aware of what you're bringing into your home and what you're putting in your body. So in most cases, I think we take for granted the stuff we buy at the grocery store, especially things that are toxic. We kind of accept it and take it into we just think, you know what, it comes from a lab. They've, it's not full lavender. They've, genetically made up something that smells like lavender. Oh, well, that's cool. I'm ready to like deal with it. I think a lot of us are like that. But if you get to the point where you just decide that it's something you want to be more conscious of what you're buying, using natural products where you can actually see how they're made, where they're made, who's making them, or in this case, the harvesting and the farmers. We'll talk about that. It's kind of empowering that way too, so you know what's going into the body. We talk about how they're effective. So I actually had to take a training course, and it was pretty long in terms of, it was online, but there's so many units that we had to do in order to kind of learn about essential oils, and on a very basic level. So there's the science behind it is like crazy. I just learned mostly the basic science, basic chemistry. And even then I have to refer back all the time. It's just very interesting because a lot of people think that that it's kind of a hoax, I don't want to say hoax, that it's trendy. So essential oils are so trendy, and like companies are just trying to capitalize on it and trying to, say that they're, all of a sudden they're charging all this money for like herbs and things of the earth. And yeah, but there's science behind it, and there's actual scientific bodies and organizations that these companies, and I'm going to say all companies, I'm going to give everyone the benefit of the doubt, all companies employ in order to make sure that what they're putting out there and offering to the public and asking them to buy and you spend their money on is, pure and has got, lots of testing done on it. So the thing about it too, that people say to me or ask me, like they want to try oils, but they're allergic to certain plants and they're allergic to certain things. So will that carry over in the oil? And from what I learned, the answer is yes. So again, there's going to be lots of different variations of different products that different companies have in order to help. And then if you're allergic to spruce, like my mom is allergic to spruce, one of the many plants. If the sap gets on her, she totally breaks out. It's crazy. She uses essential oils all the time, and she's like a 70 plus Jamaican woman who's been using oils since she was like a child in the islands. This is not something new. This is not some new hyped product. The concept we'll talk about in some other lives. We'll talk about why it's even called an essential oil, because I get a lot of people that kind of have stuff to say, and they're kind of like, there's no such thing as an oil, as it's essential. Like it kind of is. There's the actual scientific definition. So I'll show you guys parts of my course that I took and why it's called an essential oil. And just because that's become a trendy term, at least for the company that I buy my stuff from, they use it in the pure scientific term. So we'll talk about that as well. And then we'll also talk about the fact that it's affordable. Contrary, again, to popular belief that people think that, certain oils or companies are overpricing. Clearly, everyone lives by that whole philosophy of you get what you pay for, right? So if you understand at all that a certain oil is only indigenous to a certain land far away from here, and it needs to be harvested and everything from there, if you're paying a high amount for it because that's where it's coming from and it's being harvested there and then it's being tested and all of that, if you see the same oil for $5, you can't be mad at the company most of the time. You need to kind of think about why this other company is charging $5 for something that another company is charging $50 for. Okay. And yeah, I get it. There's definitely companies that take advantage and overprice. I totally get it. But again, we'll talk about in some other lives about what doTERRA does for the farmers that harvest for them. And it's pretty awesome. It's pretty amazing. And other fundraising initiatives that they do is super awesome. So it's kind of nice too to know that your money is going to organizations and going to initiatives as well. So yeah, if I paid for a certain toxic cleaner in a grocery store, I'm sure it's just going to the company that's making it, and that's it. It's nice to know that the money I spend for my cleaner that I end up making or buying pre-made from the company that's natural, non-toxic, I know that the money's going to a few other places. So we'll talk about that too. So in a class, those are like the main three things that we start off with. The three cool things about essential oils, how they're safe, effective, and affordable. And then we also, let me pull out my other slide. So let me flip it around again. Okay, so then we talk about 3 ways to use essential oils, how you can use them aromatically, topically, and internally. And we go into some detail on that. I usually at this point like to ask people, do you know the difference between a diffuser and, a Glade plugin? So I usually like to go, I have a kind of a cool video. I don't think I can show it here when I do a live, but I have a little video that shows the difference between the two. And, even just having, even your car freshener that hangs that you get at the gas station, just kind of what goes into that and how that's made versus using a diffuser. And there's car diffusers, and you can actually make a hanging car freshener with essential oils, and it's like way safer for you. Again, this is the stuff we kind of talk about. We talk about topically applying oils to your body. So I usually end up answering a lot of questions or what is the word I want to say? Kind of myths that people have about putting oil on their skin. I usually end up, researching for people as well, but most of the time the answer is pretty obvious, like what you need to do in order to put oils on your skin, using a carrier oil. So we talk about that a bit. And then we talk about kind of the big one that a lot of people have questions about, and that's internal use of oils. And again, I have a video that I like to play for people where we talk about what oils are okay to ingest. And I show you the label of the oil that you can ingest versus one that you're not supposed to, and we talk about that. And again, through the course that I took, the training that I took, I have a really big section on the science behind ingesting oils, and so we talk about that as well. Again, because it's a class, depends on the vibe. So if it's at someone's home and it's a couple of friends that just wanted to get together and really just had questions, I try to answer questions along those lines. But I don't really get too deep into it, because the training I had was really good, solid training. But at the same time, clearly I'm not a scientist. I will always refer back, not necessarily to doTERRA's science only, because I believe in it, even though I believe in what they're doing and who's on their board and all of that. I will actually go online and look at other science that other people, just to corroborate, just to make people feel better, because I get it. It's kind of scary. You're putting stuff into your body, actually drinking it. That's a complete different thing than smelling it and that getting into your body, or putting it on your skin and that getting into your body. So I get that. That's scary. And again, if you think about what the labs do in order to make things like vitamins, or to make things that you put into your body, we kind of put stuff into our body blindly anyway. I was one of the first people, trust me, I just, whatever's at the store, I just pick up, I just buy, trust me. And I am, knock on wood, not someone that gets allergic to has allergies to things. So I've never had problems. So I was putting things into my body that, definitely was not making me feel better, but it wasn't hurting me, I didn't think. And actually the story I like to tell is the one where I was taking multivitamins, just Centrum, one a day. I don't know, Centrum one a day. Everybody takes that vitamin, right? And I would take it, and within the first 5 seconds, I would feel nauseous. I mean, not enough to make me want to go back to bed or anything, but I just would feel nauseous. And then after a while, I just thought, I don't think you're supposed to feel that way when you take vitamins. I don't know what the problem was. I tried not to take it with juice. I tried not to do it with, I tried to just take it on its own with water before eating, after eating. I tried different things, and same thing, made me nauseous every time. That's when I started looking into and taking LLV, which is the Lifelong Vitality Supplements, vitamin supplements from doTERRA, and it broke it down. So I was taking 3 different things. I was taking Omega, and I was taking a cellular regeneration, and I was taking, that's awful that I can't remember. Anyway, there's 3 of them. And I took those. It's the same things that would be in the Centrum, and feel great. Never had an issue, haven't had an issue yet. Been taking it for, I think I'm on 3 years now. So I usually like to have lots of stories, personal experience stories when I'm in a class too. And like I said, I'll get people that have had negative personal experiences, and that's always important as well, because there's so many different avenues to take and different things you can try, that it doesn't always have to be that's the answer, right? So yeah, I think that would be more, if you're interested in a class, that's kind of what we start out with. So it's not hard sell. I'm not trying to get anybody to do anything. Most of the time, the beginning is really just about answering questions, sharing experiences, and just kind of why are you interested, or why do you use it and want someone else to become to use it too. And if it's something that there's questions I can answer and get the answer for you, that's what I like to do as well. I think if I had known about oils earlier on, and I could make them work with my finances, because that was always an excuse to use stuff from the dollar store and ingest that, no problem. If I'd known, then things might have been a little bit different for me in terms of just overall general health. I know I look pretty healthy, and most of you know me as a fitness person, so I don't really have, any real bad negative things, but just things like when I had my tooth. If you saw, I ran some pictures back when my tooth was severely infected and I had to have a root canal. My face swelled right up. I actually went out and got some Ambisol, even though I know better. I just was in so much pain. Put the Ambisol on, nothing. Did a rinse with my On Guard mouthwash 3 times in the day. Also carried around my peppermint with a Q-tip and was placing that on for cooling. And that is what actually got me through. So, and a bottle of peppermint is under $20. 250 drops in it, right? So I know people think it sounds like it's expensive, but it's crazy when you look at it afterwards and you're just thinking this is something like so simple, and you can just get it to your house once a month, once every other month. You don't even have to buy it every month if you don't want to. Stuff lasts for so long that you could go without placing an order. It's just like having a Costco membership, like just all these little things that if honestly I knew. And so that's why I really want to do this and put these lives out. So I'm going to do lives Sunday through Thursday. I'm going to aim for 2:00 in the afternoon, as today I was a little bit late because it's Sunday and I was out with my granddaughter and all that good stuff. But yeah, I'm going to just keep sharing because I just want to tell people about it, and I would love people to try it, give me their feedback. I'd love people to be able to just make it part of their lifestyle, just like I want people to make fitness part of their lifestyle. So if anyone has any questions after any of my lives, just direct message me. It's all good. And like I said, I'm going to post it in my group. If you're interested in my group, let me know. And again, post it on my YouTube channel. If you're interested in that, let me know. Other than that, let's go have a good Sunday, y'all. Bye.